Hello, everybody. My name is Jörg Glückmann, and in the next 45 minutes, I will give you an overview on how to achieve better business processes with ARIS Cloud. I start with a few presentations about business process analysis and business process analysis in the cloud, and then I will show you also a live demo of the product, which shows you how to register for a free trial, how to activate the free trial, and how to work with ARIS Cloud to make your processes better today. So let's get started. Why managing business processes? The answer for that question is rather simple. Processes are not just a business asset which you are having in your organization. Processes are your business. Processes are the heart of your business. So processes can make you successful because they differentiate you from competition, or they provide exceptional customer service, or they can make you fail if they are delivering a poor quality, for instance. So improving your processes is the same as improving your businesses. And I guess everybody would agree that this is a mandatory thing to do. If your processes are your business, then documenting your processes means documenting your business or your corporate reality, as it is shown on that slide. So what you do in business process analysis is pretty much building an enterprise model of your corporate reality, which helps you to understand your organization. And this is really, really key for all kinds of different initiatives, starting from a digital transformation, going to managing customer experience, going all the way down to, for instance, an ERP implementation. Having such an enterprise model with your process hierarchies, your process landscapes, will help you with each and every initiative you are seeing on the right side of that slide. So what are common process challenges? What are typical problems organizations are facing when it comes to processes? Well, first of all, very often, processes are organized in silos, right? You have sales processes, you have marketing processes, you have production processes, you have delivery processes, you got service processes. But in not many organizations, you have a clear end-to-end view. How is a certain process, like order to cash, running through your organization end-to-end? Where do you have bottlenecks? What are cost drivers? What are quality measures? Right? But for a customer, it's not important if the sales part of the process was delivered with high quality or the production part. For the customer, the end-to-end performance of a process is what he will use as a measure if he's successful, if he's happy with your services or products or not. So end-to-end is the important perspective on a process. It is also very important that processes are not just me-too processes. So in a world where products are more and more commodity and comparable, often the differentiator is in the process, where you either provide exceptional service for a higher price, or you make the process slimmer and leaner to save costs to offer a product with a lower price, depending on your strategy. So it's really important to understand what do you want to achieve with your business, what is your USP, and to reflect that in your processes. So what is business process analysis? And what do you need to do business process analysis? I got a slide with the 3 most important W's of BPA. I'm sure there are more W's for it, but I concentrated it on the, for me, most important parts. First of all, why? Why do you analyze your processes and improve it? Well, because you want to achieve or fulfill a business strategy and their objectives. So for instance, customer experience management. So the business objective would be in your corporate strategy to improve customer satisfaction. And to do that, you need to make sure that the customer is getting the best experience possible when the customer is buying your products. To do that, it would be a very smart idea to analyze the organization for customer touchpoints. So where do we have interactions with customers? In which processes are those interactions? Who is the owner of that processes? What are the service levels? Can we improve those processes? Can we add additional services to those processes which our competitors might not have? So why is important? Because you need to understand what do you want to achieve with your business process analysis initiative. Either better customer satisfaction, or you want to implement an ERP system, or you want to manage your operational risks. Who? The second W. Who is doing that? Well, internally, pretty much everybody. Because, as I said in the beginning, processes are the heart of your business. So everybody should have an interest in making its process better. So everybody should be engaged in an end-to-end process improvement initiative. Obviously, you need a special team to provide some governance, setting standards, and so forth. That would be the center of excellence. So the core team, which is setting up a BPA system, defining the strategies, defining the standards, and then rolling that out. But it's really recommended that business process analysis is not just stuck in that center of excellence team, but to be spread throughout the organization to reach each and every stakeholder. It's also recommended to go beyond. It's also recommended to integrate customers and partners in such initiative. So why not inviting customers to make processes better which are having a customer touchpoint? Why not choosing your most valuable customers to ask them, where can we improve? What was the poor experience? What services would you like to have? Which services should be provided to you? And to use that, obviously, to implement that in the processes. Same applies for partners like suppliers, B2B partners. It's recommended to integrate them in such an initiative to make them part of that exercise. With how can you do business process analysis? Well, first of all, if you just want to describe a process and make one process or part of a process better, it's not necessarily needed to have a technology. You could do that on a whiteboard, simply. However, if you reach a certain maturity and a certain scope of your business process initiative, it's really recommended to use technology to make such an initiative more effective and efficient and more sustainable. Such a process improvement or business process analysis technology should provide you capabilities like designing a process. Collaboration is a really important thing to engage with your stakeholders. You should have capabilities to analyze the processes you described. Also, you should have capabilities to improve such a process and to share them throughout your organization. Standards are really key. Standards could be modeling notations like BPMN, EPC, the event-driven process chain, or UML. So these are modeling notations which define how to design a process, which also guarantees that each and everybody in your organization will understand the process because it's a standardized notation. And objects use the same thing all over the place. While if you are not having such a notation, different objects could mean different things, which makes a lot of space for interpretation, which is not good in that case. Methods, really important. So for quality management, Six Sigma or ISO 9000, or industry frameworks like ETOM for telco, for instance. Another important part for the with section are procedural models. So procedural models show you how to use the technology and the organization to achieve your business strategy and your objectives. So if I compare that to a car, the technology would be the car, the who would be probably the driver, the why would be, well, I need to shop groceries, while the procedural model would be a navigation system guiding your way to a supermarket. That would be a really simple picture for that. So procedural models really guide you through a process improvement project. And obviously, we provide such procedural models, which are based on hundreds of business process analysis projects, which we have done in the last few years. ARIS is bringing the 3 W's together. ARIS was the first BPA product in the market. It pretty much founded the BPA discipline over 25 years ago. Today, we got some very impressive user numbers. Altogether, we got over 2 million end users, which is really a lot. Over 10,000 customers. We got a very active ARIS community with 330,000 active community members. So ARIS founded that BPA discipline a long time ago and is still in the leaders section from different analysts. So why should you do business process analysis? How can it help you in your organization? Well, first of all, you can define your corporate strategy to understand what you want to achieve, what are your business objectives, what are the strategy, and you can map that to processes. So if you would have the objective, improve customer satisfaction, then you could map that objective to all processes which are having a customer touch point. You can collaboratively create or design end-to-end processes spanning all different organizational silos. You can define and implement new services in those processes which differentiate you from competition. You can collaboratively decide on standardized processes and roll those out throughout your organization. Because you got your enterprise model in ARIS, it's very easy for you to respond to changing business environments. That could be a new regulation, for instance. So a new regulation comes out, and it takes you not a long time to find out which processes need to comply to that regulation, to implement those regulations, and to make them audit-proven. Obviously, you can also make sure that you are using resources effectively. You can analyze your processes. Where can you use new technology to make processes run faster or provide a new service or maybe to be executed cheaper? This would all be under the umbrella of digital transformation. What makes ARIS special are, well, different things, of course. One thing is a concept we introduced where you can have different views on an organization. We call that the ARIS house. No surprise. So we got a view on the organization, which is the organization view. So here you would answer questions like which organizational units exist, for instance, purchasing, sales, and so forth. The data view, you would answer a question like what information is important. Is it customer data, supplier data, product data, etc. The function view, which functions will be performed in my business? Functions like order processing or invoicing. And you would have the products and services view, which products or services are important. For instance, checked order, customer invoice. The relationship between organizational units, data, functions, and products and services come together in the process view. And that is now the interesting part, because here you see how all the different views come together to provide an added value by being processed. The objects which are used here are being reused. So for instance, the order data object is reused from the data view. It's one object in the database. And this reuse sounds really simple, but it provides you a lot of great capabilities. So in that example, you see there's this green square, which is used in 3 different processes, but it's stored just once in the database. And obviously, it helps you with renaming objects. You rename it once, and it's being populated in all different processes. But more importantly, it will help you to run what-if analysis. Yeah. So if that object would be an IT system, for instance, you could run a report to find out if the IT system is down, which process cannot work anymore, or vice versa. We restructured the process, and the process is is using that IT system. Whom do I have to inform on the IT side because they are managing that IT system? So this repository, this database, will be your single truth of your business architecture, providing you the different views and providing you a model of your corporate reality. And you can understand your corporate reality, you can improve it, you can run simulations, impact analysis, to see what the changes will be before you actually commit them. And I can tell you, many, many, many of our customers who put that data in such a repository have way better capabilities to understand their business and to make their business more agile, because they know their corporate reality and they know how to react if things are happening. This concept, the ARIS house, the reuse of objects, was brought in the cloud by Software AG 2 years ago. So we launched a product called ARIS Cloud, which is a full-scale business process analysis as a service product. It was built for collaborative process transparency and improvement projects. So it comes with a Facebook-like collaboration engine, and it makes access to business process analysis capabilities very simple, because you can subscribe to that offer in just a few minutes. So why is cloud deployment for business process analysis technology so great? Well, first of all, you can start really fast. With ARIS Cloud, you can start literally in a few minutes to work with the technology. You also have operational expenses because it's subscription-based. So you can have a fast and a rather cheap start. Another big advantage is a fast procurement, because you don't have to go through those long-lasting procurement cycles. All you need to do is having a credit card, a corporate credit card, departmental credit card, and you can subscribe to the technology and use it. The software scales based on your maturity. So you can start with one person designing a process, maybe 2 people reviewing the process. But once you scale up, because you have more and more people, maybe different departments to design a process, you just add more people to your project room. It's very easy to onboard new people, so participation barriers are pretty much removed. We have very high availability, which is very, very often a higher availability than the data, the IT departments are having when on a customer side, your own IT is running such a system. So in most of the cases, the availability of a cloud solution is higher. On top of that, the operation costs are very, very low compared to internal IT. And many organizations have the policy anyways, new applications are cloud only. So many, many good reasons why BPA as a service is the way to go. On my last slide before the live demonstration, You see an overview on the 3 different ARIS Cloud editions. We got ARIS Cloud Basic, which is, as the name implies, a tool for beginners. So you can start a process in marketing and sales, invite people to make it better, and you can share that in your organization. It's rather simple for a quick start. It's a public cloud deployment, which means you can choose your hosting region, Europe, US, or Australia by now, to deploy your project room. Start in a minute. ARIS Cloud Advanced is a solution which is, well, more advanced. You can customize ARIS Cloud, which means if you're evaluating a process by running a report, you can put your logo in there. You can define certain filters, which means which objects are available for process designers to describe a process. It's also a public cloud deployment, the same hosting regions. ARIS Cloud Enterprise is our full-blown BPA product, ARIS deployed in a private cloud, which means each and every customer which decides for that product is getting his own instance deployed on AWS. We are using Amazon Web Services as our infrastructure provider. This product brings all the capabilities which the standard ARIS product will bring you, not standard, but the on-premise product. All different customization possibilities, user management, but also administration capabilities like single sign-on, integration with SAP, integration with Alphabet Enterprise Architecture, and so forth. So the interesting thing about these 3 editions is that for each and every maturity level, we got the right product, and you can grow from edition to edition. With this, I'd like to switch over to the live demo. And for that, I need to share my browser. All right. If you are going to ariscloud.com, you find our ARIS Cloud product website. Here you find some good information about the different editions. If you click on the editions, you see the different capabilities. If you will click on such capability, you will get information what the capability is actually doing. If you are going to the feature section, again, there is a capability matrix. You can also click on topics like modeling, and you would find videos, how to model, how to define conventions, and all those good things. If you click on shop, you find a free trial. You can subscribe in the shop to ARIS Cloud, Basic and ARIS Cloud Advanced, but you could start with a free trial. And I recommend that you are doing that because in a few minutes you should be able to work with the product, and I show you what you need to do to actually make that happen. Before I do that, I would like to show also the support section. Here is a tutorials part. If you would click on that tutorials part, you find videos which explain you how to work with the product. All right, so let's start a free trial. You would just click that button. Switch that to English. You need to fill in your data. You have to give your project room a name. That will be the project room where you describe your process content. And very important, you need to choose your hosting region. So if you're in Europe, well, I would go for Europe, data center in Ireland, US, we got AWS in Oregon, and Australia in Sydney. If you would click on continue, you will get an email with your login data. With the login data, you just go to you go back to ariscloud.com, click on My ARIS Cloud, and then you would register or type in your login data. The first thing you will see is the Manage My Cloud environment. You will just see one project room. So you see I got 2 project rooms. One is in Europe, one is in the US. You see the licenses which are assigned. If you click on that little gear, you find more information like users. Here you can invite more users. The free trial comes with 5 viewer users and 2 designers, so you can invite others. You can add and remove databases here. We got 3 different database types with different sets of models. So you could start with the easy one with just a few models, and then the largest database has or supports 74 model types, and you can also change your password. You can click on launch, and if you have done that, you will jump directly to ARIS Cloud. So this is how ARIS Cloud looks like. You got a home screen with some shortcuts. You see the social collaboration stream over here. Right on top you have a little navigation. So here you access the collaboration area, here the repository. Here you have your user settings with all the languages. And here you got a search. So let's go on navigation first to see how processes look like in ARIS Cloud. You see now we have a start model. We got some groups called business processes, information architecture, risk and compliance, etc. So those shortcuts pretty much align to the navigation over here. I'll click on the start model, and what you see is, let me hide the collaboration, the ARIS house. So you might remember the slides I've shown you with the different views. This is exactly that. Yeah, we got the different views I already explained, and in the middle, it all comes together in the process view. So I would click on that process view, and you see a business process landscape, my management processes, core processes, support processes. I will go more into detail when it comes to HR. And here I want to see the recruiting processes. So I'm now at a level where I now will jump into the process models for matching job applications to job requirements. So I click on that assignment, and I see an event-driven process chain. You see the process logic, who is doing what, and how the process runs through the organization. If I would open my attributes, I could click on the different objects, and I see a description. I see when that object was created. I see what are related objects, for instance, to that object over here. I can hide that and see if there are comments on the process. I see that 3 people put a comment on that process to make things better. I could follow this process, which means I would get a push notification if somebody else is commenting on that process. Let me like it. I can analyze the process, so I could create a process manual out of that, a document which describes the process. I can export that. I can create an output model information report, so I can run those reports to get or to analyze the process. One important thing is that little edit pen over here. Because if I got the designer rights, I can click on that pen, and I will jump into the design environment. So the viewing environment and the design environment is one thing. It depends on the licenses you got, if you can just comment on the process or view process or actually model one or change one. Yeah, and again, in the free trial, you got 2 designers and 5 viewers. So this is the design environment. You could say, well, I also want to see a grid. and then you can take an object and drag it somewhere, or take another object and place it somewhere. Yeah, so you can really modify the process or create new processes. Also here, you can use reports that you can analyze the process while you are designing. You can assign properties for different objects. You can also add properties down here. And it's a full design environment. Also here we got the collaboration, of course. Okay, I don't change the process model. I go back to ARIS Cloud, to the home screen, because one more thing, well, maybe I show that as well. You see up here, I got a comment on a BPMN process. So the process I have shown you was the event-driven process chain, so a business-oriented modeling environment. If you decide for BPMN, we also support that. Also BPMN processes can be modeled in the ARIS Cloud. That is not a problem at all. One thing which is really exciting are views we created around those process models. So let me search for that process, the process I just showed you, the event-driven process chain, matching job application to job requirement. You see that I have here a portal view and a model view, and I will jump into the portal view. The model itself is the event-driven process chain model we have seen a few minutes ago. But what ARIS Cloud is doing is a really cool thing. For people who are not familiar to such modeling notation, we translate the process into different views which everybody can understand. So one view which is generated out of that process model is the overview fact sheet. So you see process description, you see different activities of a process. You can click on such an activity and you would see who is doing that, which IT system is involved, is there risk, a possible risk, what's the output data, and so forth. Yeah? So without having to understand a process model, you can really simple understand the process by having such a written description. Another thing is the step view. So you click very easily on those different steps, and you see that you can scroll through the process, and on the right side you got the description for that object here. This is perfect for a tablet. ARIS Cloud runs on HTML5, so you can directly consume that process on a tablet. There is also a table view where you could say, well, I also want to see the IT systems, for instance, a hierarchy chart, so who's responsible, who's accountable, who needs to be informed, and, well, of course, the diagram view you have seen before. As I said, if you click on collaboration, you come into the collaboration environment. Here we are having, as you know from Facebook, an activity stream. You can create groups which are focused on a certain initiative, like improving an onboarding process or improving a sales process. You can follow processes, you can follow groups, and this really helps to engage your stakeholders, because if you engage with them when it comes to process improvement, you will get their buy-in, which also will help you a lot when it comes to changing the way they work when it comes to change management. Very important capability. Okay, to not run over time, I suggest that we finish the demo part. Again, as I said, please go to ariscloud.com, click on Shop, and start your free trial here. And then you can work with the product with 2 designers, 5 viewers for free, for 1 month. You can also download your content if you want to have it locally, and yeah, want to continue with the project later. So with this, I'm going back to my presentation. Okay, so very short customer example before I come to the end. Northern Gas Networks, the largest gas distributor in the London area, is using ARIS Cloud. They were using at Innovation World last year, our big customer event, and we're presenting how ARIS Cloud was used to improve customer satisfaction at NGN. So the process improvement initiative was part of a customer experience management initiative, which comprised everything from designing as-is processes to start process improvements, to implement process changes, and so forth. If you go to ariscloud.com, you also find more information on that case study. So there is no reason to wait for you. If you want to try ARIS Cloud yourself, go to ariscloud.com and start your free trial. If you need help, I invite you to check the tutorial videos on our ARIS Cloud support section. If you need more help, you can ask questions in the community, and I promise we get back in touch with you really fast. On our website is also a contact form. So if you need personal help, let us know. And if you want to buy the product or subscribe to the product, you can use the online store for ARIS Cloud Basic and Advanced, or get in touch with our account managers to get Enterprise, but you can also use our account managers for the other ARIS Cloud editions. With that, I'm at the end of my presentation. I hope it was a little bit helpful for you. Again, go to ariscloud.com if you have more information, start your free trial, and make your business run better one process at a time. Thank you.